An influential Washington, D.C. think tank is now calling on the U.S. government to recognize the Afrikaner pursuit of self-determination, or better known as a Volksstaat. Just a few years ago, the very idea of this Afrikaner Volksstaat was treated internationally as something entirely outside the boundaries of serious political discussion. Yet, today this is being proposed from within Washington, D.C. itself through think tanks associated with figures from Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA, as well as the broader America First movement in the U.S. Earlier this week, the White Papers Policy Institute, a new up-and-coming think tank based in Washington, D.C., called on the government of the United States to support the Afrikaner drive to self-determination by expressly supporting the creation of an independent Afrikaner Republic, commonly known as the Volksstaat. The think tank, which within its first 2 years of existence already boasts a major online following comparable to some of the biggest and most established think tanks in Washington, D.C., released a study in which it commended the Trump administration for drawing attention to the plight of the Afrikaner people and for allowing Afrikaners to come to America as refugees. It noted, however, that America also has a moral duty to support the creation of an Afrikaner Volksstaat in Southern Africa, and in this particular context, specifically referred to the Afrikaner settlement of Orania. Stay tuned, because in today's video I'm going to uncover one of the most significant recent political developments when it comes to our people's strive for self-determination. The White Papers Policy Institute is a young up-and-coming think tank based in Washington, D.C., which describes its aim as creating a policy alternative that promotes the collective interests of Western peoples who seek self-determination. It specifically advocates for what it describes as a model of ethnically and culturally cohesive nation-states, which it considers to be necessary for human freedom, prosperity and flourishing. It adds that it truly believes that decades of demographic change can be reversed through humane policies and with the cooperation of other nations and peoples beyond the West. The Institute is led by Ms. Sian Quinn, a pro-Western advocate who has served as the Institute's director since its founding. Quinn recently sat down and talked to Ernst Roets from Lex Libertas as well as Joost Strydom from the Orania movement, with the White Papers Policy Institute releasing the interview just over a month ago in April. In this interview, she specifically asked Strydom about the background of the Afrikaners' fight for freedom and statehood, which he proceeded to explain in light of the history of this territory known as South Africa.
If you understand South Africa as a construct, is not very old. South Africa as one nation, as one so-called nation, has been created by the British Empire in 1909, 1910. So it's 115 years old, right? So before that, what was the reality on the ground? And that's specifically also the Orania way of understanding this territory. Ernst referred to a territory. That's what it is. It's the southern tip of Africa. And then the British gave it borders. So what was it before then? Well, there were colonial areas, which was in British hands and primarily inhabited by them. And then there were Afrikaner republics, multiple actually. Afrikaners love creating new republics, it's our thing. Two of them very successful, the Republic of the Free State and the Republic of the Transvaal, which became recognized countries upon themselves, and where our people lived and had economic relations and built things and so on. And then the Zulu and the Xhosa monarchies, which was traditional, with a king and so on, and also nomadic people who moved around. And all of these groups were forced into one construct. And we think the term the new South Africa is something that came with the change to the ANC government in the 90s. It was already used back in 1910, referring to a new South Africa. There's a new South Africa coming. So this new South Africa now forced everyone into this construct, and in order to rule over this, you have to align people with a single identity. That just doesn't work.
In light of the interview, as well as in light of the research done by Quinn's team, the White Papers Policy Institute this week released its statement calling on the US government to recognize the Afrikaner pursuit for self-determination in their own independent sovereign republic. The report specifically highlights, and I quote, "The United States has a long history of supporting ethnic separatist movements. America supports the independence of the Albanians in Kosovo. It supported the Tibetan cause, and American foreign policy currently supports the autonomy and self-determination of the Kurds in Iraq. It would be refreshing for American nationalists if the United States government supported the self-determination of a Christian European people like the Afrikaners over a Muslim, Arab or Asian group with whom the American people have very little in common. Also, unlike these groups, Afrikaners will require comparatively very little support once their sovereignty has been secured." It then proceeds to specifically refer to the example of Orania as an ethnic Afrikaner community, which has successfully taken ownership of its own water, electricity, and education independent of government aid, and even while still being taxed by this very same government. The report concludes, and again I quote, "There is no doubt that Afrikaners are capable of building a self-sustaining nation-state, with relatively little financial commitment from outside sources. Unlike the Albanians of Kosovo, or the Kurds who rely heavily on American and European patronage, the United States can and should bring cases against South Africa to the international courts regarding the treatment of Afrikaners, and the American state can use its control of major international institutions like the International Monetary Fund to assure that South Africa receives little financial assistance until the government in Pretoria agrees to give the Afrikaners a sovereign Volksstaat." This report, coming from the White Papers Policy Institute, is highly significant, especially in light of the fact that its network of close allies includes figures such as Ms. Jackie Eubanks, who appear alongside Quinn as a keynote speaker at conferences co-hosted by the Institute. Eubanks also ran for the Michigan House of Representatives in 2022, and her campaign was endorsed by Donald Trump himself. Furthermore, she also worked very closely with Charlie Kirk at Turning Point USA, where she became one of the organization's most recognizable field representatives. Given this immense growth in influence of this young DC-based think tank, the fact that it has now firmly introduced the issue of Afrikaner self-determination to international policy discussions in Washington, D.C. marks a truly remarkable shift from where we had been with this cause even just a year ago. What was once openly and publicly dismissed as downright impossible or fringe is increasingly being treated as a mainstream geopolitical issue by influential voices abroad. And perhaps that is the biggest sign of progress of all. The Afrikaner cause is no longer isolated, no longer invisible, and it now boasts powerful and influential allies beyond our own borders, for which we are truly thankful. The reality is that this issue of self-determination is the one hill to die on for our people. It constitutes the key to securing a future for our people and our children here in our fatherland of South Africa. We highlighted this fact in a very recent analysis which you can view by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now if you want to understand more about Afrikaner self-determination. And you, the viewer of this channel, can help us advance this cause and the work we are doing by becoming a paying member today. Simply follow the easy steps on the banner underneath me to invest in us. Goodbye and God bless.